I grew up in a single-parent household. I grew up with my mother. My parents did not have a happy marriage and they fought a lot. Later, my father went to jail for theft and my mother chose to divorce him. This incident had a big impact on me and I was afraid of marriage. I had my first boyfriend in college and at first I refused. Later, I was impressed by his sincerity. My boyfriend and I have been together for 3 years and I love my boyfriend very much. I envisioned a future life. But he cheated on me. I tried to find him to talk things out, but he acted calmly. Finally, he proposed a breakup. I couldn't bear such a blow and I wanted to end it all. I took a box of cephalexin, and then I drank half a bottle of vodka. Slowly, I lost consciousness. My mom called an ambulance and I was taken to the hospital. Before I got there, I had passed out. I don't know how long it took, but I felt like I was in a bed. I opened my eyes and saw a doctor beside me. I looked to my right and saw my body. Suddenly, I appeared in a darkness. Here, I saw many cubes. Later I realized that this was hell. Each cube was a custom-made hell for a different soul. Each person's sin is different, so each hell is different. The devil gets pleasure from the suffering of others. As I walked against the wall, I was sucked into one of the cubes. This room was red. I saw a sandwich on the table. I smelled it and it was no different than a normal sandwich. Curious, I took a bite and it tasted so bad I spit it out. It was the worst food I had ever eaten and I started vomiting. I heard the devil's laughter around me. Suddenly, I kept shivering and I felt very cold. I appeared in a cave. It was small, the floor was wet, and it was very dark. I felt very lonely. I started to try to find the exit in the darkness. I couldn't stand up because the ceiling was too low. I saw a white light in front of me, and there were other people near the light. The group was kneeling at the edge of a hole. I could tell there were burning flames inside. I saw a man on his knees with a rope wrapped around his neck. I heard screams from ahead. An ugly demon came out of the cave and dragged them into the cave. I began to fear that I was next. When I tried to close my eyes, but I couldn't. I finally knew why everyone looked like a zombie. Because you can't close your eyes, you can't talk to anyone else, you can only kneel there. All you can do is stare at the hole, listen to the screams, and hope that you're not next. As I was praying, I saw a blue light flash by. I saw a column of light fall to the ground. I heard a voice say, "It's okay, I will save you." I saw something that looked like an angel take my hand. The angel said, "We don't have time, we have to go quickly." They took me into the pillar of light and started the journey. The movement and the light made me feel a little uncomfortable, so I closed my eyes for a while. Sometimes I got curious and opened my eyes every once in a while. I saw the legendary stairway to heaven, where someone was carrying a cat up the stairs. I saw a large group of people standing in front of the gates of heaven. The angel took me to a room next to the gate. The walls of the room were made of clouds. I wanted to look outside the room. A voice said, "Don't do that, you will regret it, you will be lost there." I was very angry because I just wanted to disappear in the world, not live in a different place. I thought to myself, How come there is nothing in this room? At least there is a stool for me to sit on." Suddenly, the cloud in the room started to turn black and started to rotate. It opened like an elevator door, and there were 3 people standing there, illuminated by a light. I saw a man in a robe who was about 40 years old. To his right was an angel with wings, and to his left was a very graceful lady. I realized that it was Jesus. The angel said, "Tell us what brought you here." I started to explain that I didn't think the world was fair and I didn't want to be there anymore. He looked at me and said, "Who told you this is a fair world? Everyone experiences what they choose. Your time is not up now, you have to go back." I refused his request. I wanted to stay here. He began to explain that heaven is a safe place where souls are protected and taken care of by God. Everyone has their own place. And place is determined by your actions on earth. People are rarely satisfied with their place, they are always eager to move forward. The soul in heaven is no exception. He explained that I had entered into a contract with the Creator, and I had to fulfill that contract or suffer the consequences of breaking it. My only option was to go back and finish my work. For me, this was not a very good thing. I told Jesus, "You can't watch people hurt me, you're supposed to protect me." If I was going to go back, I wanted him to take care of things. He looked at me and said, "My child, I cannot cause pain to others, I can only heal those who are hurting." Jesus asked me, "Do you know why I saved you from hell?" Although I didn't know the answer, I knew that the angel was sent by Jesus to save me. I realized in that moment that Jesus was with me and always had been. I began to weep bitterly, and I held my head in my hands and wept uncontrollably. As I entered the tunnel to return, I saw a strange phenomenon. There was an eye in the middle of the tunnel, and I realized that Jesus had been with me all along. When I entered my body again, I could feel my heart beating. I felt pain. I had no reaction and I just lay there for a few days. Later I told my mother about it, but she didn't believe me. Only I knew what I was going through. God was watching over me that day. He repaired my broken heart. I believed in love again. Fear of marriage no longer existed. I met a guy later in life that I really liked and I took the initiative to confess my love to him. We got married not long after that and had our first girl. Last year we welcomed our second child. I thank God for allowing me to experience this joy of motherhood. I didn't believe in God at first, but He protected me and kept me alive.